Hey everyone, welcome to my video. Today we're going to do a reading to check in on the July energy, check on what to focus on, a couple other questions we're going to ask. For this month, we've got a full moon in Capricorn on July 4th. There's also an eclipse that day, so that's going to be about spending some time reflecting on the last 6 months. That could be important, but also spend some time planning for the future. Like, what else do you want to bring into your life? Let's see, what else do we got? We got Mercury retrograde ending on July 12th. We have a new moon in Cancer on the 20th. And Leo season starts on the 23rd. So that's exciting. Leo birthday's coming up. Cool, so that's a little bit of information about the month. I hope you're having a good day today. Let's go ahead and decide which group you're in for our reading. So we've got a Smokey Quartz, a Selenite wand, and this little piece of Labradorite. So I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. Take a big deep breath, and on your out breath you can open your eyes and tell me which crystal resonates the most. So Smokey Quartz, Selenite, and Labradorite. And we're going to go ahead and start with the Smokey Quartz group. And we'll just put this guy back there. Alright, so today we are going to pull some tarot first. I thought we would ask the tarot cards what the energy of the month is going to look like for you. So let's just go ahead and do it. I think that we're going to do 5 cards. That is what my intuition is telling me. All right, so for the Smokey Quartz group, what is July going to be like? What is the energy of the month for the Smokey Quartz group? Okay. All right, so we've got 4 and one more, 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and move these over. All right, so it looks like we've got some reverse cards, and we're going to start with this one. We're just going to go down the line. So this is the 2 of Swords, and it is reversed. And this card is kind of saying that I think that this month, if you look at this person is blindfolded, and the swords are kind of protecting them, but it's upside down. And so I think internally this month you're going to really work on changing your fear over to peace, to love. And I think that you're going to be able to take your blindfold off because it's been kind of scary. So we've been kind of shutting down, closing down. But I think this month we're actually going to work on turning this upright. And I think that what that means is you're going to work on really trying to find that peace within. Find that peaceful place. That's what I think is going to happen with this card. And I think also here we've got the 7 of Swords. And this one, obviously, look, these people are kind of in conflict. This person up here at the top is defending themselves. So we turn it back the way it was. To me, this is saying that we are going to end some conflicts that we've been having. I think that we've kind of been in crisis. This is what this looks like. But this is going to all dissolve. It's going to end this month. I think that you're going to feel internally a lot more peaceful, like what this was saying. I think that the conflict you've been going through is going to come to an end, or at least change the way it looks. All right, on that note, we have this 2 of Wands, which is here. And this one is about, but it was reversed. And this one, I think, this one is so interesting to me because I look at it like you're fighting yourself in this one. And that you are kind of going back and forth with what you want, what you see is important into your life. But, we all have that voice in our head that gets in the way, right? That ego voice that tells us, oh no, you don't really want to do that. That's going to be hard, or that's going to be scary, or if we do that, we might fail. And I think that this one is, we're going to start to release it a little. We're going to start to let go because we're going to find some peace. We're going to start to change some conflicts. We're going to let go of this fighting that's been going on. And enter in now the King of Swords. And this guy is clearly moving forward. Do you see how fast his horse is going? He's got a sword out in front of him. He's got that yellow cape behind him, and yellow implies education and cognitive thinking. So like really being able to think things through. I think it's going to be about moving forward, but moving forward with like good thoughts and good thought processes, if that makes sense. I also think that this is like, we're going to lead by using our words carefully. We're going to look at every possible angle before moving forward, but we are going to move forward. And so I think this month what this is saying is that we've got some healing to do. We've got some peace to find. We've got some conflict to change. We're going to try to make friends with ourselves. And we're moving forward on so many good things. Like, this is such positive movement forward. Then we've got this Princess of Wands, which in other decks is just the Page of Wands. And this card is really talking about like fiery passion. Clearly, there's a lot of fire there, right? And creating something new, having some change coming your way. And if you think, like, I mean, the look on that character's face is just bliss, right? Like some enthusiasm, some creativity. So I think this is going to be really positive. So to me, the energy that's coming this month is we're finding some peace. Like I said, we're going to work on kind of managing how we manage ourselves, that voice in our head. We're going to use our brain, be very analytical to move forward on things. And we're going to find some new creativity, some change is coming. There is some change. So that's really important. Okay, so that's kind of what it seems like the energy is. So I'm going to put these cards up here. And now what I want to do is, from this deck, I just want to ask, what is it that you should focus on this month? What could you focus on this month to have a good month? So what can the Smokey Quartz group do this month to focus on having a good month? Okay, let's see. So we've got, it says to balance spirituality and practicality. Okay, so I think that's just a balance, right? And that kind of goes with this guy, to be honest with you, because this guy is, moving forward with that education and those thoughts in his brain, and, being able to think things through. Oh, you can't even see it. Sorry about that. But this is really talking about balancing all of our spiritual side to us, but also how we think about things, our physical side, how we're practical. So that's also being really grounded. And so I think this month could be really good to develop a spirituality practice as well as a practicality practice. So what I mean by that is that could be reflection, that could be journaling, that could be really looking practical at your life, like looking at it from a practical point of view, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. All right, so what I want to do next is we're going to take a different tarot deck now, and I want to just ask, what do we need to know about goals that you've set this month? And if you haven't set any goals, that's okay. You can still do it. What information do we need to know about any goals that we have set this month? All right, what do we need to know about any goals that we have set this month? Okay, we've got the Hanged Man. This card is fantastic. This is one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck. Okay, so this card is talking about how it is time to change your perspective, to surrender to what is, and in terms of your goals, to maybe change your perspective on your goals. Sometimes we set goals that are just not aligned with our higher self. And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes we set goals because we think we should do that, because culture tells us to, or our friends or our family or somebody that we think is telling us that we're good enough, and they tell us that we need to have be a certain way or have a certain something in our life. So we set that as a goal, but maybe it doesn't align. And so this is talking about relook at it. Take a look at your goals. Let's surrender to what you really feel is right for you, and then make that your goal. So I think that's what that one is saying, and that's really great. Okay, lastly, we are going to find out what kind of self-love we can do this month. So what can we focus on to have some fantastic self-love? So we're going to pull from this deck. Okay, this says friendliness. All right, so it says friendliness. So it says, can you see that? Okay, you are able to recognize traits in common with another in order to forge love-based connections. So this is just talking about recognizing the humanness in everybody you come across and in yourself. And that we're all working on being, I think, like the best we can. And I know that people have their moments, don't get me wrong. I get it. We all do, where we're not acting in our best behavior or we're not necessarily treating others correctly. But this is talking about maybe try to look past some of that. And so this is going to be self-love, because the more friendly you are to others, the better you're going to feel about yourself. The better, more peaceful you're going to feel inside, which was this and this, right? Maybe conflict will go away. This is an answer. This is an answer to kind of how we're going to do some of that. So, okay, I hope that this all made sense. And I'm excited for you. I think this is going to be a big month. This one, I forgot to tell you, is a major arcana card. And so if you can readjust your goals, reassess where you're at, look at it from a different perspective, then life will change. I really think it will. This is a major soul lesson. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, well, let me know if you have any comments or questions. I'd love to hear how it goes. I hope you have a good July. Come back for more videos. Like and subscribe, of course. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, take care. Okay, it's time to do the Selenite group. So we're just going to set that over there. Okay, so let's start with tarot. We're going to ask some questions just about the energy of the month, some stuff that might go on for you. And we're going to see what the tarot has to say. So for the Selenite group tarot, what is the energy? What's going to happen in July? What's it going to be like for them? Okay, we're going to shuffle a couple times. We're just going to shuffle one more time. Oh, just kidding. We didn't need to do that. All right, we'll cut. Okay, and my intuition's telling me 5 cards. So we've got 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So, looks like this month we've got some 4 of Swords. And this card is about respite, taking a break, letting yourself meditate, letting that part of your brain that is incessantly chatting at you to slow down. So the best way to do that is to be in the moment, to be present, and to let yourself meditate. Let yourself meditate. Maybe do some reading. Go to a park and let yourself sit there and just enjoy the sunshine. You know, that kind of stuff. And I think that this is going to feel like, okay, so this card right here is the 5 of Cups. And it doesn't look that good. It looks like we are kind of out of what we need. That maybe we've had some losses, that we're not feeling good. But this card is reversed in our reading today. I think this is saying that we're going to start filling our cups back up. That it's been feeling this way for a while, but we're going to turn it back this way. And how to do that is by doing this, if that makes sense. It also seems like it's been rough. So that we've got the Tower card here. This is one of the cards in the tarot deck that is kind of overwhelming because it sort of implies that life is falling apart, but this was also reversed. And so what that tells me is life has fallen apart, but we are going to build back up in July. We're building back up. And that's a major card. So this is going to be building back some major life lessons. We're going to be learning from what's happened. We're going to be taking some time, resting, filling our cups back up, building back up in order to feel this way. And this is the Princess of Discs, and the Princess of Discs. This card is the same as Page of Discs and other decks. And this one's just talking about, like, I can do this. Financial news is coming. We're going to be creating new things. It was reversed, but that's an internal thing. This is about grounding yourself. You're going to be figuring out some financial success for yourself. And you're going to start to really feel like you can create new things in your life because we're building back up. Remember, we're building this foundation back up. Okay, and lastly, in the tarot that we're reading right now is the 8 of Wands. And this card is just talking about a major shift happening. Like, see all these different characters moving around? Like, they're changing, they're shifting, lightning bolts are coming, and lightning in this case is just like, think about the energy that comes from lightning, right? And it zaps and it moves and shakes, right? I mean, the thunder, is a mover and a shaker. And so we've got some major shifts coming this month. And so I think, with doing this work though, with letting your brain rest, having the faith that you're going to get what you need, you're going to rebuild, and you're going to be able to create some new stuff in order to shift. So this is good. It feels like this is a turning point from a difficult time that's been going on. So what I want to do now is I want to ask, what should we focus on this month? What could you focus on this month, especially to kind of complete this, like to do what this says, what this reading is saying so far? What could you focus on this month? Okay. Okay, it says confidence is your key to success. And that lion there, lions are really strong, right? And in tarot and oracle cards, they represent strength. And so confidence, being strong, is your key to success. So having faith, right? Having the confidence that you're going to be able to do this, that you're going to be able to create these shifts that we're talking about, to get to this shift. That's going to happen. But you got to be confident. You got to dig deep for that lion. You've got this. Confidence is your key to success. That's super important. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to pull a different tarot deck out because I want to ask a little bit more about information regarding any goals you've set this month. And if you haven't set goals, that's okay. You can go ahead and do it now. But let's just see, what kind of information do we need to know about any goals that you've set this month? So we're going to go ahead and shuffle a couple times. So any information about the goals that you've set this month? Okay. We've got the Two of Cups reversed. Okay, so what this card is saying is it's time to really look at your relationship to your goals. And so this card upright is showing, oops, can you see that? Two people. This card is all about love, starting a relationship. But because this is in regards to your goals and it was upside down, I'm going to say that this card is telling us that we have to take a look at our relationship to our goals. So how do we feel about our goals? Do we feel positive? Do we feel negative? Do we feel like we can complete goals, or do we feel nervous about even setting them because we're just going to fail again? Like that kind of heaviness about goals. So we really have to take a hard look at how we react to goals, how we set goals. Are our goals realistic? Are they fun? Do we feel like they're a burden? So if we're feeling negative about our goals, this is a time to reflect, go in deep, and really look at what relationship do you have with your goals. Okay, so that's cool. And lastly, I want to just ask, what should we focus on, to give ourselves some self-love this month? What is it that we can focus on to have some good self-love? Okay, let's see. It says action. All right, you have the courage to express the unique, loving colors of your soul. So this is talking about action. So we can have a different relationship with our goals, right? Change the relationship and then rebuild. That's what this is all about. We're going to rebuild. We're going to get back what we feel like we've lost. This is all happening this month. But you got to take action. And what that can look like is that means every day you got to get out of bed and do the stuff that you know you need to do in order to make yourself feel good, in order to get yourself feeling like you're back on track. Okay, so, the other thing I forgot to say is strength and confidence comes from action. Every single time. That is like cause and effect. If we feel like we can put one foot in front of the other and get some momentum on things that we're working on, then inevitably we will feel confident about it. It's proven. It's science. I don't know if it's science, but I do think it's proven. So I think that is great. I think this month is going to be a huge turnaround for you. I'm excited to hear how it goes. Please let me know. Comment below that'd be great. Like the video if you got value out of this. Subscribe for more videos. I've got lots coming up. And happy July. Okay, thanks. Talk to you later. Okay, we are ready to get going on the Labradorite group. Okay, so we're just going to set that over there. So we're going to start with some tarot, and we're just going to find out what is the energy of this month for you. So basically kind of what's going to happen, right? We just want to know what's happening, what's going on for you in July. All right, I'm going to shuffle one more time. Okay. Okay, or not. I've been doing that lately. That's so funny. Okay, are we ready? We're going to cut. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull 5 cards. My goodness. We've pulled this Tower card, and that card too, twice today. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're just going to go down the line. So the 3 of Discs, this card is here to show us that it can be very useful this month for you to ask for help from your mentors. Work together, ask for people who have done it before you. So in this picture, if you notice, there's some pyramids in the back. We've got this guy building this one. And this is implying that these guys build those, and he is asking for their help. And that's really important because I think a lot of times we think that we have to invent the wheel on our own, but we have people in our lives to help us. There are mentors out there. There are people even on social media that will help. So try to find others that have done what you've done, what you want to do, or what you're working on, and consult. Find somebody to talk to you about it. It could even be somebody in your family, even if they don't know anything about what it is you're doing specifically, doesn't mean they won't have some thoughts and advice for you. So ask for help. Work together, ask for help. We've got some major shifts coming up. This is the 8 of Wands. And this card, if you look at all these characters, they're just doing different things. They're moving and shaking. We've got some lightning here, and the lightning kind of represents all that energy involved with making shifts in your life and changes. So, right? So we got some changes, some shifts, and I think that it's saying, because this card here is the Tower card, and it is upside down, and the Tower card, when it is this way, talks about how life is going to sort of fall apart, okay? But it's reversed. And what I think this is saying, especially coming after this card here, is that with this major shift, we're going to start rebuilding. So the stuff that fell apart before, this is something that I think fell apart for you maybe last month or the month before. This is not falling apart right now, but we are going to start to rebuild. And so I think that with working together with people you really admire, recognizing the shifts that are coming, we're going to start rebuilding. We've also got this Empress card, and it is reversed, but I want to show it to you upright. So reversed, this is going to be about mothering yourself and taking responsibility for your internal thoughts and feelings and kind of what you've got going on inside. So, what's really standing out to me is this pink swan. And that pink swans, okay, so that's like love and nurturing, right? And I think it's going to be about focusing on yourself. Loving yourself. Now, this Empress card is a major arcana card, which means, and so is the Tower card. And these both mean that this is kind of major life stuff. This is not just your everyday, run-of-the-mill lessons that you're learning. This is kind of your major soul lessons. So we're going to be rebuilding, but through that rebuilding, there has to be a lot of love for yourself. And you got to mother yourself. So what I mean by mother yourself is maybe that means you've got to develop a new structure for yourself and some new discipline. Maybe that means that if you're not feeling well, you got to go take the medicine. You got to take care of what it is. You got to take care of yourself just like you hopefully were taken care of as a kid. And if you weren't taken very good care of as a kid, that's okay. You can do it now for yourself. That's the beauty of being an adult, taking care of yourself. Now this next tarot card is the 5 of Cups. And if you look at it this way, look, this guy does not have what he needs. He is losing out. He has a loss. He does not have his needs met. But it was reversed. And so I think this is talking about really watching your mindset with feeling like you are in lack. So really paying attention to your mindset, because feeling like you're in lack only causes more lack. every single time. And the reason why is because if you have a stressful brain and you don't feel gratitude for what you do have, and you feel like you're in lack, then you will have a stressful life that is lacking in what you need. So to turn this card, now we don't really want to turn this card upright because that's not good either. But I think that to like really work on getting over this card, moving forward from this card, is going to be allowing yourself to switch it to feeling grateful and gratitude about the abundance that you do have and what needs you do have being met and cared for. Okay, so that looks like the energy of the week. What we're going to do now is I want to ask this deck what you could focus on this month in order to have a good month. So what can you focus on this month in order to have a good month? All right, this says surrender to the divine, which is beautiful. It's a full moon card, and we have a full moon coming up this Saturday. That's an eclipse, Saturday or Sunday, depending upon your time zone. And, you know, full moons are super powerful. And surrendering to the divine is a very powerful way to live a connected life. And so surrender, what does that mean? I look at that as a surrender practice. So every day, to start your day, at some point in your day, doesn't matter how you do this or when you do it, but to say something like, okay, universe, I step back and let you lead the way. Or maybe you have a religious way that you can surrender, if that's your practice. Sometimes in my hardest days, I will repeat, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, over and over and over again to get my brain to stop thinking such negative things. And so this is super important. That is the key to a peaceful life, is surrender. I promise you, I've done it. I can't wait to hear how it goes. Try it this month. Let me know what you think. Okay, so next I want to ask a different tarot deck just some information about any goals that you've set this month. And if you haven't set any goals, that's okay. You can always do it now. But we just want to know some information about goals that you've set. So what does the Labradorite group need to know about any goals that they've set? Okay. So let's go ahead and cut. And we've got the Ace of Wands reversed. Okay, so this card is really, okay, let's look at it this way for a second. So the Ace of Wands is talking about a new passion, some new creativity coming into your life, but it was reversed. So I would say that in terms of your goals, like maybe it's time to re-look at your goals in a passionate way. That maybe you've lost some passion for the goals that you've set. So reevaluate. Go back to the why. Why are you working on these goals that you've set for yourself? Come back to the why. And maybe they're the right goals, or maybe you just need to reevaluate and pick different goals that makes you feel more passionate. So definitely take a look at that, because I think that if we don't have a good why, if we don't remember why we're doing what we're doing, then it's really hard to work on goals, to accomplish goals, right? To have any action steps towards the goals that we're working on. Okay, and then lastly, what I want to do is I just want to see what can you focus on to have some good self-love practices this month. What can you focus on to have some good self-love practices this month? Okay, I've got detachment. So it says, you are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. So this is really talking about detaching from the attachment to certain outcomes, right? So we all get caught up in this. We all get caught up in hoping that it's going to, that something's going to work out in our life the way we want it to work out, just so. But when it doesn't, we fall apart, because that's really hard if we don't have the outcome that we are really looking forward to. But so this one's really talking about if we can detach, then we're going to find love. It doesn't say that specifically, but I think that's really what it is, right? If we can be open and be in the flow of life, then you're going to find love. And I don't necessarily mean like romantic love, but you might find some self-love. You might find love if that's what you're looking for. You might find some new friends. You might find something new in your life when we can detach from the outcomes and open ourselves up to the flow of life. Okay, so I think that this is going to be a really good month. I do. I think that you're going to move forward and move through some things that have been difficult. We're going to find some love for ourselves, some nurturing. We're going to surrender. We're going to take a look at our goals because they might not be the right ones, or they might just not be the why. We've forgotten why. So we want to go back and check on that. Some major shifts are happening. We're going to talk to some mentors. And we're going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. So I hope that you liked this reading. Please let me know if it resonates in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you. And if you liked the video, subscribe to get more. I've got lots coming up. And I hope you have a great month. And I can't wait to see you here next time. Okay, take care.